My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah.
Good morning, Pops Paladin here. We're going to talk about heroic Maiden of Vigilance in the Tomb of Sargeras. Now, this fight is a joke for an entrance fight into the final two bosses. However, one person can wipe your raid group. And so let's talk a little bit about build here. Run a full Seraphim build, full DPS build, because truly there's almost zero damage going out in this entire fight. I mean, even when you are tanking the Maiden, she's not damaging you very much. And yeah, you might see me be a little bit spiky. That's because I'm not using Shield of the Righteous in terms of a defensive manner. But in all reality, I mean, I'm still taking almost zero damage overall. The damage that comes out is really falling damage and explosion damage from your debuff. So in terms of how to actually tank this, basically there's two colors. There's green and there's yellow. And now if you're colorblind, there's obviously the colorblind option in World of Warcraft settings. They have changed the animation this week and compared to last week. The green orb is the solid orb and the yellow orb is the one that kind of looks like a fluttering butterfly. So what's going to happen here on pull and on each time she switches sides is she's going to do infusion. Infusion is going to give you a specific color or a specific debuff. I'm going to talk about it in terms of colors. Fel infusion will be green and light infusion will be, well, yellow. The light infusion tank always tanks first on a color change. So anytime you get a new color, light has to tank first. And the reason why light has to tank first is because she's going to do Hammer of Obliteration on light first. If you get hit by the wrong colored hammer, your entire side, whoever got hit by that hammer, will turn into a bomb. Obviously, bombs are bad. When you are the light hammer and you get hit during the light hammer phase, about 4 seconds after the hammer hits and the taunt has occurred for the other side, you will turn into a bomb as the light hammered tank. That always happens. Don't be surprised by it and don't say, oh no, I stood in something. No, that's a mechanic that's supposed to happen. When each side gets hit by a hammer and before the green side gets hit by a hammer. So let's talk about the green side first. So when light is tanking the Maiden, she's putting little swirly orbs on the ground. Those swirly orbs, if you step in it, will automatically turn you into a bomb. And you can see the swirlies on the ground right now as we're diving back and forth. They're the exact same swirlies I'm talking about during the actual tanking phase. If you step in a swirly, no matter what color you are, you will turn into a bomb. Now, like I said, as the light color is tanking Maiden, she's putting the swirlies on the green side. So as the green tank, you have to be very, very cautious of where you're standing because you could turn into a bomb and then miss the taunt, and, well, that wipes the raid. So just stare at the ground, and you see me when I'm green, I stare at the ground, and I just move back and forth until it's my time to taunt. Now, once she does the hammer on the light side and green side taunts, you have to run into the pit if you were the light hammer, as you see me doing right now, and I get blown backwards. When I get blown backwards, as I'm landing, she's putting new swirlies on the ground. So as the light hammer tank, you have to avoid it. You can see a swirly right there in the middle of the raid. So it's kind of one of those things that you have to be cautious of where you're standing, because that's really the only mechanic that's going to wipe your raid group, is turning into a bomb. Now, I know I kind of missed it because I'm talking a little bit about the theory of what you're doing here and why things are going on. So we pulled the boss, she ported to one side, and then she ported back to the original side. That is when we lusted, because that's when all of our cooldowns will be off and everybody should have their DPS stuff going, and that's when we truly burn the boss. Now, the importance of when we swap sides, and that's about to happen here, and I'm going to talk about what's going to go on. You should try to put warlock gates down so that way you can move to the other side quickly. Do not be incredibly close to the boss when she ports. The closer you are, the longer your stun is. So you want to be right where you are originally when she ports and then move to the other side. Now what we do is we group up slightly out or just at the edge of the cusp of melee range, and everybody groups there, and just the tank and one melee person bounce back and forth between the middle lane and the close lane in order to pop the orbs. And you have to pop them when they are directly even with the stack group, so that way you can get as many stacks as possible. I think on average my group pulled down 6 orbs. Now maximum is 10, and that's what you should be getting. On Mythic, I'm pretty sure if you don't get 10, it's probably going to be a wipe based mechanic. So try to practice and get really used to collecting the orbs correctly. This final side, you're going to see we all get the bomb because somebody from the light side stood inside our area, and so we all had to run into the thing and get blown up, and I got back at the last second to taunt. But you have plenty of time to taunt for this boss. The mechanics are very well rehearsed, very methodical, and the cast bars are projected, you know, way out. So, you know, Hammer of Obliteration coming in 10 seconds. You have plenty of time. Don't panic on this fight. Watch your feet and just be slow about it, and you'll get this one down very easily. I wish you all the best on your upcoming loot, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Have a great day.